Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the second big post-game show in a row on a Saturday as the Kentucky Wildcats beat Alabama 117-95. What a performance. It's really all there is to say. The game wasn't even as close as the final score. The Cats win by 22. Could have won by 30. Heck, even could have won by 40. Honestly, just kind of chilled out towards the end of the game. It's the best all-around performance I think the Cats have had all year long. They put up 58 points in the first half and 59 in the second half. Didn't slow down until the last 4 minutes of the game. Just kept pushing the pace. And for once, and hopefully for the rest of the season, they get up and they do not allow Bama to claw back. They step on their throats and run them out of the gym. That's what we've been waiting on, and it comes against the number one team in the SEC. When the Cats play like this, they're the best team in the country. Not even just in the SEC, the best team in the country. When you can score at that clip and defend the way they did, that's the number one thing. I mean, I knew we were going to score against Bama. Their defense is ranked worse than ours, to be honest with you. But we did stop them when we needed to. Towards the end of the game there, we did give up quite a bit of points, but I'm fine with that. When you score 117, you can't expect the defense to be perfect. And we defended when we had to. I thought the second half, really the first half was a very good defensive effort. You gave up 42, but it's against the offense that's first in the nation in points per game. So very good performance. It's definitely, without a doubt, the Justin Edwards game. 28 points on 10 of 10 shooting, 4 of 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, and definitely the player of the game. Awesome to see from Justin Edwards. Justin's a kid that has taken a lot of criticism as the season has went on, and he continues. This is his fourth game in a row that he's played really well. Obviously, this is his best game so far, but if we can get half of what we got tonight out of Edwards a game, if you get 14 a game, oh my gosh, man, you change the trajectory. Plus the defense he played, I just love it for Justin. We had some conversations on the pod about like right when the SEC season started of when do you decide that, Edwards just doesn't have it. I think I said stick with him for a little bit longer. I did question it at times when we didn't need him. But now you see the result of Cal sticking with a player and him coming around by March. It's February, and he's came around. 28 points on 10 of 10 shooting. Just an overall great night. And Antonio Reeves, once again, man, Mr. Consistent. Gives you 24 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 of 3 from behind the line, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, and 7 of 10 from the field. I would be crazy not to mention Big Z. Only played 20 minutes. It honestly felt like he played longer than that. But played 20 minutes, had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. Just a huge game for Big Z. So that's just some highlights of the box score. Rob Dillingham off the bench, 16 points. Reed Shepherd, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was kind of flirting with a triple-double there. He had a couple steals, too. I'm not sure how many steals. 4 steals. He's coming for Rajon Rondo's single-season record, by the way. I think he's going to get it. He has more steals. I mean, he steals the ball more than I think any player in the country that plays significant minutes. He pokes the ball away. That's his biggest strength, and it leads to fast breaks. Mark Sears had 20 for Bama. Griffin had 21, but for the most part, you held them in check. You gave up 95, but you didn't let anybody go off on you. We had guys that played really well. Adu Thiero, once again, he fouls out, but he ends with 12 points. He was all over the floor. Great defensive game for him. He was hitting threes or close to threes. He only hit 1 3, but 2 shots that he hit was toe barely on the line. So, and looked good while doing it. Swished every one of them. Another big game from him. Hated to see DJ struggle. Again, we've got to get him going. I mean, I say you got to, but if you play like this, you don't. But I don't expect us to play like this every game. But I think it would be definitely a good thing to get DJ going back to what he was at the beginning of the year. He's got to try to get to the rim. I think he's settling too much. I know he settled a lot this game. Once he gets to the rim, man, he can finish. But he's just not getting there. Only 1 of 7. The one he did hit was a layup. 0 of 4 from 3. See, 4 of his shots were 3-pointers. And they were mostly standing threes with nobody around him. They're leaving him open. They're daring him to shoot. He can shoot a little bit. He's not shot it well particularly, but when he becomes a driver, he becomes a totally different player. And we've seen that as the year goes on. But I'm not, I'm just talking to talk. Got to have something to talk about, and I really hope DJ continues to get better and better and better. Bradshaw only played 5 minutes. Cal's trimming the rotation. You can see that. Late in the second half, when Bama, they kind of clawed their way back. I think they were still down 12 or 14. I immediately said, I was watching the game with my family, said he needs to roll with Big Z, Reed Shepherd, Reeves, Dillingham, and Thiero. And he did. I'm sorry, not Thiero, Edwards. He rolled with those 5 and had Thiero coming off the bench. Just played Bradshaw for a minute when Big Z got beat on defense that Bradshaw checked in. But this wasn't an Ugo game, especially on the defensive side. He got beat several times at the beginning. So you knew someone had to show up, and Big Z did that. So I'm glad he got the playing time he did. That's a game where Big Z felt like he played his best, to be honest with you. He felt free, loose, even hit a 3. So heck of a game for him. Heck of a game for Big Blue Nation. I think we all needed this after the heartbreaker on Wednesday, man. That was a terrible way to lose a game, and the Cats proved that, what happens in the past doesn't matter to these guys. They're focused on the future. They're focused on March. They're focused on getting us a title. They're focused on the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament. And, after seeing them play today, I'm ready for it to start right now, both of them. Let's go ahead and get the SEC tournament done this week and fire up the NCAA next week. That's my opinion. Because, they're on a heater. I wish we could just play all those games in one day. Because dropping 117 on a top 13 team in the country is pretty much unheard of in college basketball. So, and I get, Alabama is not a good defensive team, but I'm pretty sure, I haven't went back and looked, but I'm pretty sure that they've not gave up 117 points to anybody, or even close to that, to be honest with you. So, but here we are, 19-8. 9-5 in the SEC. We're right there, to be honest with you. Auburn's only up 5 right now to Georgia. If they lose that, you move up a spot because you have the tiebreaker on Auburn. You might even move up 2. I'm not really sure how the tiebreakers work with Florida since we beat them once and they beat us once. I need to look that up. But you could potentially be in that double bye spot by the end of the day. If Auburn goes on to lose to Georgia, they're up right now, but Georgia's cut into that lead. So we'll see as time goes on. But I'm still of the belief you're in good shape to get the double bye. The conference, the regular season, if you beat LSU, I think you're very much in the hunt for that. But being 2 games back with 3 games left, not ideal. So, or actually 4 games left, not ideal regardless. So, we'll see. I think the Alabama was 5th in the net. That's a ranking system that college basketball started going by for tournament seeding, etc. So we've now beat 3 top 10 teams in the net rankings this year. Kentucky is the only team to do that. 3 top 10 net wins, and that's huge for a resume. We talk about resume building. The loss to LSU hurt, but you've got 2 quad 1 wins back-to-back on Saturdays. At Auburn and home against Bama, and you blast Bama out of the building. The committee's got to look at that and say, man, we're back down in the 6 seed range projections today. That's got to go up now. I think we're back to a 5. If we're not, something's seriously wrong with with the system. If you watch that team that we saw tonight and you say they are a 6 seed, then I don't know what really to tell you, to be honest with you. Speaking of that, did you all? Well, I'm recording the podcast. I don't have anybody here with me. I was about to say, did you all see the projected number 1 seeds? They have Jerry Palm of CBS has North Carolina as a 1 seed now with 6 losses. Just thought that was strange. The ACC's down this year. Of course, we beat Carolina, so strange, but we'll see. I guess it's hard to put really anybody else in there. I want to shout out Big Blue Nation for another great environment at Rupp Arena. This was the first time this year that we got the big marquee win at Rupp, and the crowds have been good every time. Heck, the crowd was even good when I went and watched us play Florida. The crowd was awesome when I went to watch us play Miami at the beginning of the year. It was great crowds. They finally got the payoff. They finally got the payoff tonight, as it was just thorough domination. And now, with the putting up 117, how many did we put up against Marshall? Was it 119? I'm going to have to go back and look at this. 118. So 1 point off of our season high. And it comes against Alabama. So, the people that petitioned for Nate Oates to take Cal's job, one, it's never happening because Mitch is not going to hire Nate Oates. But 2, go back and look at their head-to-head record. Just go back and look at it. Cal has beat him more than Oates has beat us. And the defense that Oates teams play, and I know this is coming from a Kentucky fan, so you're like, huh? Like, we're not good at defense. Well, they couldn't guard anybody tonight at all. So I think that'll end up costing them in the NCAA tournament. Will it cost us? We'll see. I think we're defending better. I haven't seen that Bama team defend as well as we defended against Auburn or Ole Miss or even tonight. I mean, like I said, I know we gave up 95, but a lot of those were in the last couple minutes. So I'm proud of the effort, proud of the Cats for bouncing back. They could have easily rolled over, but I don't think that's in this team. I really don't. And the good news, I mean, it's not good news. I wanted him to play, but Trey Mitchell is still out. Still have not played with the full roster, except for 22 minutes against Ole Miss. So we got that in the back pocket also. And I think you really could have went small, which if Trey plays, Big Z probably doesn't have his game that he had, but you play small and see what happens. I'm super proud of this whole team, to be honest with you, but my sole focus on this game, I'm going to have this as the Justin Edwards game. Like I said, 28 points, perfect from the field. You could see the joy on the kid's face, and you can see the confidence he's playing with. I think it started with the Ole Miss game. I think he scored the first 7 points of the Ole Miss game last week. Or it was 2 weeks ago. And since that point, he's kept building and building and building. Folks, he's here. He has arrived. He has arrived to help this team go to the promised land in March. And I love it for the kid. He talked about the struggle mentally and the nasty messages he was getting from fans. And I want to take this for a second to say, do not message these players if you're listening to this. I don't respect that at all. Do not message these players when we're losing games. Don't message the coaches. There's no reason for it, to be honest with you, at all. That's a number one huge thing for me. I'm sure they don't want to hear it, and they want nothing. They know they went and lost Wednesday night. They know that. The coaches know it. The players know it. It's weighed on them more than it has us, I'm sure. We're fans. The players live it. The coaches live it. So keep that in mind as the season goes on, and if we do lose again. Which speaking of losing again, I said yesterday when I recorded the postgame LSU. think the Cats win out. Thought they would win today and win the next 4. And if you play the way you played today, you make my prediction look very, very good. So we'll see. If we do that, though, like I said, I think you're looking at the double bye in the SEC tournament, which is what we want. You're looking at a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, maybe even a 3 if we win out. If you go get a road win at Tennessee to end the year, I'm pretty sure at Mississippi State on Tuesday is a quad 1 opportunity. There's still opportunities there. Now you got to win your 2 home games that are left. You can't take a bad loss on either one of those if you want to keep your seeding up. But, with the win at Auburn, win at home against Bama, there's still an opportunity out there to go up to a 4 seed, at least maybe a 3. So we'll see how all that shakes out. Like I said, once they update bracketology and I review Tuesday's game against Mississippi State, I will break down each path that websites have us going. Some I'll focus on is obviously Joe Lenardi, Jerry Palm. There's a Bracketville is one that I'll look at. Bracket Wag is another one. Bleacher Report. I'll break down all those. Y'all can let me know what path you like the most and all that. Of course, all this is hypothetical. We get the real selection show 3 weeks from tomorrow. My favorite day of the year. My favorite time of the year, March Madness. It's coming, and it'll be here before you know it. So it was a heck of a performance. I'm so proud. I've recorded this whole episode with a smile on my face. You probably can't see that. Well, you obviously can't see that, but I think you can hear it. It's just to see the guys respond the way that they did. I think I had us winning by 9 or 12. I can't remember. I know I just did it yesterday, but I don't remember the exact score that I predicted. But, did not expect the blowout that ensued. So I said it wouldn't shock me if we won by 20. We won by 22. But I was shocked. I was shocked because at one point I thought it was going to be 40. We kind of slowed down a little bit, got different lineups in the game. But if you kept those 5 on the floor the whole game, man, you could have won by 30, possibly 40 points. So, just huge. Play of the game. What's the play of the game? There were so many good ones. Trying to think, just right off. I love both times that, the play of the game had to be that Rob Dillingham layup. That in the first half that touched the tip top. We deserve that after the crap that LSU hit on Wednesday night, including a free throw that hit the top of the backboard. So I'll go with Dillingham's layup, but honorable mention, every time Big Z would catch it, turn around and dunk it. I think that happened at least twice, maybe 3 times. And he made a heck of a move from the top of the key. Dribbled, kept the defender on his hip, and finished the layup. That was good, too. Anytime he does stuff, you love to see it. So I think he's your second option now at the 5, along with Ugo. And that's all if Trey isn't back. If Trey's back, obviously, I think I said this yesterday as well, you go play small when Trey comes back. Have Trey at the 5, run a do at the 4, or Edwards, and see what happens from there. So what else really is there other to say other than this is the most proud I've been of this team all year? I think I'm more proud and more excited for this win than I was last week, and that's strange. But I guess it's just because of the constantly hearing about Nate Oates all the time in my ear. Every time we lose a game, for whatever reason, Kentucky fans are obsessed. The ones that want Cal out are obsessed with Nate Oates and his style of play. But we outplayed him using his style and absolutely destroyed him. This is the second time in a row that they've been to Rupp that we've destroyed them. The first time was Kellen Grady's year when he went off, when he was hot in that Bama game. I feel like we ran them off the floor then. I don't think it was this much, but I think we beat them at least by 12 to 14 points. So I don't remember the final score of that game right off, but I remember Grady heating up that game and us taking it to him. So the results should speak for itself when it comes to Oates versus Cal. I mean, Oates is a good coach. I'll give him that. He's not Cal. He's not close to Cal at this point. That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, sorry. No, I'm just giving you my opinion. So, Cats moved to 19-8, 9-5 in the conference. And now they look ahead to Mississippi State on the road Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. The Cats, to begin conference play, that was their second home game in conference play. Handled Mississippi State. Handled them well. They only won by 13, but were up by 18 in the first half. And never looked back. Won 90-77. The first matchup, Tolu Smith is their guy. We know this. He had 26. He had 26 against us the first time. Antonio Reeves went for 27. Other than Tolu Smith, we did a very good job of shutting everybody else down that started. The other starters only combined for 23 total points. So if you can do that again, I like our chances. Tolu Smith's going to get his. He's that good of a player. Especially if Trey isn't back, then we'll see what happens. Trey did have 15 in the first matchup. Bradshaw had 11, and this was when we were without Duthiero. So we'll get him back for this game. Rob Dillingham dropped 16. Tolu Smith's their guy. DJ Jeffries, who has been there forever, or in college forever, is their other one. We did a good job last time on Josh Hubbard. He lit up Tennessee the game before ours, but hasn't really done much since. He's averaging 14 a game. They go on the road and play LSU tonight, so here in about 30 minutes we'll get to see that, see what happens. Mississippi State's a pretty hefty favorite, which is shocking with LSU coming off their win against us. So we'll see. I'm confident. Cal always wins in Starkville, it seems like. I think he's lost one game there ever. I think, was it last year? Maybe last year or the year before. I don't remember exactly, but I think he's only ever lost one game in Starkville. It's not really one of the most crazy environments in the SEC, but with this team, are we going to get today's effort? We're going to get the second half against LSU. We'll see. That's something to watch. That's something to watch from every game here on out. So I like our chances, though. I think we handle them. Like I said, I predicted this last episode to win the last 5 games of the year. That's now 4. We've got today's. Let's go get the next 4 and see where we are. And that's Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Other than that, things to look forward during the game. I want to see DJ Wagner get back to being DJ Wagner. I want to see the Cats continue to build on this effort of today's game. I want to see the 5 spot. How do we do? Because I'm assuming just by the way that people are talking that I'm assuming that you don't get Trey back yet. Could be wrong. He did practice this week. But I don't know if there's no reason to rush him back with 4 games left in the regular season. But with that being said, we do need him. So we'll see. After the Mississippi State game, you have 2 games that should be easy. You got Arkansas at home and Vandy at home. You should win those games with flying colors. And then you go at Tennessee. So the end of the season's here. The SEC tournament is almost here. So let's see. Like I said, I'm ready to tip it up right now in Nashville. Let's just go to Nashville and get this thing going. Auburn has ran off with the Georgia game, by the way. Georgia cut it to like 6. Auburn's now up 16. So Auburn's going to win that one. I figured they would. But they do have a tough game coming up on Wednesday night. They play at Tennessee. One of them has to lose. They're both 1 game ahead of us right now, assuming Tennessee wins tonight. If Tennessee loses tonight, then, we jump up into that 4 spot anyway, I'm pretty sure. But we'll see. I think Tennessee wins tonight. They get A&M at home. So, but, if we win against Mississippi State on Tuesday and Auburn loses on Wednesday night against Tennessee, we're right there at the number 4 spot. So we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. I think it'll be interesting to watch as time goes on. It'll definitely be close. The SEC's been close the whole year. Everybody beating up on everybody. So thank you all for listening. This has been a celebratory, big-time win against a Alabama team that, I saw people before the game claiming how we were going to get beat. Thank you for being wrong, is my take. Keep picking us to lose. I think this team plays better when they have a chip on their shoulder. Coming off that bad loss on Wednesday, they came out, took it to Alabama. So let's keep it up for the last 4 games. Let's see some consistency. That's the number one thing that I'm worried about with this team is the consistency. We haven't won 2 in a row in a long time. 3 in a row. We did win 2 in a row last week. We beat Ole Miss and Auburn, but 3 in a row. So let's rattle off these games. We got to win 6 in a row to get to where we want to go. Probably only have to win 2 or 3 in the SEC tournament. That would be 3, maybe 4. So let's see. Let's go get it. Let's finish the season strong. Once again, shout out to BBN for the awesome crowd at Rupp tonight. Wasn't there, but you could hear it on CBS how loud it was and how packed it was. So, as always, this has been JD's Wildcat World. We're available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. So, hopefully, this is I think this is like the 5th postgame I've done, 4th or 5th. Hopefully, there's a lot more left to come because I love doing these winning postgame shows. So, go back and watch the highlights of that game. It'll put you in a great mood. Anytime you're down about this team, let's bring up that Alabama tape and see what this team can be and what it will be. I think we're going to see more of this team that we saw today towards the end of the year. Like these last 4 games, I think this is the team you're going to see. I could be wrong. It's my prediction, though. I like us to win the last 4 and see similar to what we saw tonight rather than what we saw Wednesday in the second half against LSU. So, as always, go Cats, win or lose. It's always go Cats and go Calipari. I'm going to make some people mad that listen by saying that, but he proved y'all wrong again. It's a good win. He went and proved why he's better than Nate Oates. Nate Oates got out-coached, you could say. And I'll say it. So, as always, go Cats. Thank you all for listening. And we'll see you, hopefully, after a big win on Tuesday night. Hopefully with the Cats go win in Starkville. I didn't give a score or MVP. I better do that. I like the Cats to beat Mississippi State by a score of 94-81. I like the Cats by 13 points on the road. Justin Edwards, MVP back-to-back games. I'm taking it. Coming off 28, I think he continues to be hot. He didn't miss a shot today. 10 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3. Only missed 1 free throw. And I think he continues the Justin Edwards experience and this new Justin Edwards that we're seeing, I should say. And the Cats get a big win on the road in Starkville. So that's my prediction. Could be right, could be wrong. But thank you all for everything. Thank you all for listening. And this has been JD's Wildcat World postgame show. And the Cats get a big win against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Thank you all for listening. Go Cats.